Hi everybody, it's me again, and today I'm going to show you how to do the Cross Occurrence review and template. And what you're going to do is on the top left over here, after you've selected the tab on the bottom marked Cross Occurrence, you're going to go up here, and the buttons you're going to use are Process VBA, Copy IGO, Review Cross, and the Clear button. We're going to go ahead and click Review Cross for a new task. And this is if the participant has sent in multiple forms, and you're going to verify whether or not they're all IGO and they're all the same. They've requested the same information on every single one. Now, this black portion up here is for Omni information that you're going to paste in. I'll show you that in a second. This middle portion is for the first screen in this middle portion is for the application. The next screen is for the Omni information that's actually going to appear once you paste it in. Bottom section, clear and close only. You have your character count, trade date, notary date, ERISA calculation button, and the banking information. So let's go ahead and get started. Participant sends in, let's just say 2 for this time. There's 2 applications, and you're going to review them and verify that they are actually the same. So let's do Colorado, since that's my favorite. I'm not going to put anything in withholding and federal, just so I remember not to put it in there next time. So Colorado, they want 100%. Beneficiaries on file. Pages are all. Cross occurrence, you're going to do +1. And you're going to put in the task ID. That's very important that you put in the task ID, and I'll show you why in a minute. Let's say for the sake of ease, we're just going to say direct transfer. You have external rollover, internal rollover, 1035 for ATRA, NIGO, reinvest, AOR, and EFT. Brokerage, you can select cash or ER. That's just a reference for later on when you're actually entering it in the system. Whatever you select up here out of this process box will show up down here. It just makes it a little bit easier to see since you're adding all these or clicking all these little buttons. IR in, internal rollover in, the plan subplan contract that they're rolling over into. Put that information in there, and that will become important later on too, and I'll show you where that shows up. Task ID is going to be no. Default citizenship is default to US, but you have resident alien and global pay. Okay, at this point, you can or not enter in the task, the trade date. If you click the box, it'll come up as a live on the system. It'll come up as a three-month calendar, and you can select the date. This, we're just going to go ahead and enter August 1st. Now you want to grab the Omni information and put it in here. What you're going to do is you're going to click Omni Review, and you're going to get this window. Looks like an Excel spreadsheet. Once you've configured your hot button on Omni, the AVL button, to match this will be simple. What you're going to do is you're going to go to AVL for the plan subplan contract that you're doing, and you're going to copy it. You're going to copy all the fund IDs all the way across to the end. I make it sound like it's a bunch, but it really isn't that many. All the way to the end, which is the contract number. You're going to highlight them and copy them. Control C. You're going to come down here and click the function button. Now, if this is live, this would actually work, but in my case, it doesn't. So you're going to paste them in, click the function button. I'm just going to go ahead and close it. 2 things are going to happen. The system will automatically move you to this window in the middle, and information in here will be pre-filled based on what you pasted in. Now, if the information isn't an Omni, it's not going to show up here. A good rule for that is last premium date. Sometimes there isn't one, so there's nothing there. Okay, so what you're going to see is you're going to see the state based on Omni the participant lives in. It's going to be here, it's going to pre-fill here, and it's going to pre-fill here at the top. Term date is another one that's going to pre-fill if it's in the system. If it's not, it's going to be a red box and it's blank. If there is a term date, it's going to be a white box and there's going to be a date in it. In this case, we're just going to go ahead and put it so I don't have to worry about the NIGO piece of it yet. Okay, plan number down here. That's going to show up as well. PIN number is going to show up as well. It's going to pre-fill this, pre-fill plan number. Plan number shows up here also. PIN number only shows up down here. It's also going to pre-fill the fund IDs and the vesting for each one. So if we do TD and just do T1, a 1 for vesting and a 1 for vesting. This could literally be any number in here. If it's not a 1, then it's not 100%. 1 means 100. Anything other than that is not 100%, so you need to go back, verify either plan rules based on vesting, or go back and look at Omni if you need to. Okay, so vesting, fund IDs, vesting will pre-fill. Your traditional balance for all of the fund IDs, it's important that you get all of the fund IDs for traditional, or it won't add up right. The amount won't be right. In this case, we're just going to say it's $50,000. Last premium date, just picking stuff. Plan entry will pre-fill. Term status, that's very important. That will pre-fill. Issue state, we're going to pick Colorado. That's there just to verify whether or not it's New York, based on the trade balance. Citizenship, 0, for our purposes 0 and 1. This could be blank, this could be blank. There could be U.S. citizen in here. There's a couple of different variations. Contract number, you're going to verify that to the contract, or to the application, I'm sorry. Verify the contract number to the application. Okay, so these are the things that are pre-filled. Everything I've pre-filled in here are pre-filled. There are some things, like I said before, there are some things that will not show. They will not fill in these boxes. That just means they're not an Omni, so don't freak out about that. They're just not an Omni. A good example is the term date. It's not always there. We know that. Okay, so we're set right here. Now, since I picked direct transfer, it's going to take the ERISA and the waiver and mark them for me. ERISA doesn't matter, and waiver is NA. The next step is to go to plan rules. You're going to copy and highlight the plan rule number, or the plan number. You've got plan rule in the brain. You're going to highlight the plan number. You're going to click the plan rules button. Live on the system, what will happen is plan rules will pop up. Your cursor will be in the field for the plan number. You're going to Control V, paste it in, and hit enter. Control V, hit enter. It will load for you. Okay, we've gone through, we've looked at plan rules. Plan rules says the participant can have all of the funds. And based on the citizenship up here and the W-9 status, we determined that the 801, it's good. It's all on file. We don't have to change it. The other thing we have to verify is term date is after the last premium, or the plan entry date. So over here. In this case it is, so we're just going to mark yes. So this one, term date, plan number, PIN, and all of this information up here will show up once you've pasted it from Omni into this screen. And I know it sounds complicated, but once you do it a couple times, it makes perfect sense. So you're going to mark the plan entry, yes, NA, term NIGO, which will automatically mark if you select NIGO. NA will mark if you select NA. Yes is just, you have to do it on your own. Plan rules, status, and waiver, and ERISA, you need to mark those 4, and plan entry to double check. So what you've done in a copy, paste, and a button, what you've done, and a click of a button, is you've taken all of the Omni information and put it right in front of your face all at the same time. No moving around, none of that, no sliding back and forth. You've done it all at the same time. Okay, so our purposes here, we're not going to call this one NIGO. This one's going to be IGO. All you're doing is you're verifying the information. Now, what you want to do is go to the next form. This is the next task that came in, the next application. Now, it didn't erase it. It just hid it from you. You can't see it. And we're on cross occurrence number 2 now. This is the same thing as the other one. Nothing's changed. You're just doing it for a different application. I'll try to keep my numbers all exactly the same. Cross occurrence, just going to say cross occurrence. Review Omni, you're going to get the same window. You're going to hit function. You're going to paste it in, hit function, and you're going to end up here. So we're going to fill this out real quick. Doesn't matter what the date is for. Can't be 5,000, I guess. It could be a different date, plan number. Let's just do pin number. Oh, look, it's the same plan number, or same pin number. Okay, DT marked those for you. On file, we're just going to go ahead and fill some of this in as it matters. And then we've got one that's 100% for vesting. Just remember, all this is pre-filled. 801 is on file. I've gone to plan rules. I've pasted in the plan number, verified everything is good. So we are good to go on this one as well. The only difference between this and the other one is this one you need to, in order to activate the next form button and the done and compare button, is you have to enter in the trade date. Doesn't have to be the same as the other trade date, you just have to enter one. Remember, this is just comparison only. Okay, so I've entered that in and it's activated those two buttons. If I have a third one, I click next form. If I have done and compare, if I don't have another one, I click done and compare. In this case, we're going to go ahead and click done and compare and see what happens. Alright, here we go. This is the window that comes up. What it's done is it's taking, you've got 6 options, 6 tasks to put in. It's taken the first 2 and filled them in for me. And all you have to do is go left to right over each one to verify they're the same or they're complete. They're not NIGO. Now in this case, if there was a 5% here or nothing here, cross occurrence can't work. You have to do them individually. Federal withholding, same thing. Vesting, we're good. Status, I didn't enter in status. So this is a good example. Status is wrong. That's one of the ones that doesn't carry over. We're in trouble. There we go. Okay. Market value doesn't matter. Doesn't have to compare. Term date doesn't matter. Planned entry doesn't matter. None of these actually matter based on. Those are just the review portion of it to make sure. Market value actually does matter. It's just a matter of how much is in there. And term date, we did have those in there. Alright, so we've got 2. Now you have 2 options. These are for reinvestment allocations, just to verify that they're the same actual allocations that they want for each plan. These are your 2 options. You can click Add and Process for either one. You can pick whichever one you want to do. So let's say this first one has term. The second one, this one has term on file, this one does not, but you have term on the paperwork. You can use it off of this one so you can enter the term date in. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope so. Add and process, clear NIGO. You're clearing this out. Let me show you one over here. Let me just put a number in here in this column. Okay, I've got 5%. If I hit clear NIGO, it just clears out that whole row. It's going to clear out everything. That's NIGO, so you just know you have to go back into that one later and process it. So we're going to go ahead and process both of these based on cross occurrence. Which one is up to you if they're all the same, if everything's entered, whatever, it's up to you. Add and process. Now we're back to the original piece, just like the processing VBA. It's taken that information and put it in here. You're going to process off of this based on this information. Okay, and it's actually highlighted, copied it, and you're ready to paste that into your into your EXP. In this case, I'm just going to close that out. I'm going to show you what happened. This task is part of cross occurrence processing. Tasks included are, and it's listed those 2 task IDs. If you've had more of those, there's more of those entered. And you're really, that's all there is to it. You're just adding information in the system to review, and then basing what's entered on which one you want to process from. It really doesn't matter depending on term date, really. If you click Review Cross again, it's going to clear everything out and you're going to start over. Clear obviously clears everything out, but it doesn't reopen. Copy IGO gives you the same ones that are highlighted here. Process VBA, it brings it back up. Based on what information is in here, it puts it back in here. So see how term date is different? So if I close this out and I put a term date in, I click process review, There it is. Turn the other direction, but it's there. You can copy, paste that in, copy and paste that in as you're working it. And this just follows the same VBA as the same Omni VBA. It's exactly the same order. That's pretty much it. You have close, you have copy bank info. If it's an EFT and you have bank information, which would be down here, and you need to add it to EXP, just click that. That highlights it down here and copies it, and you're ready to go. I think that's everything. That's probably enough for right now. As always, if you have any questions or want me to sit with you, let me know. Thanks.